Hello, my name is Dr. Elle Bogue and I'm an Associate Professor in Applied Social Psychology at Birmingham City University. This video is a brief overview about pastoral care, what it is, how it's implemented in higher education, the benefits to students' mental health and well-being, and some of the challenges experienced in higher education when it comes to delivering pastoral care. Broadly speaking, in terms of this brief interview, pastoral care should be seen as a branch of student-focused welfare provision, which may also be labelled as under the umbrella term of pastoral support. Here you can see that pastoral care can be viewed as having two broad levels, institutional level and personal level. The first level is an institutional pastoral care, which is a range of services provided for students' emotional, psychological and spiritual well-being, typically within specific and clearly identifiable departments such as student support services, with a variety of internal and external resources that can be utilised in facilitating inclusivity and embracing diversity on a university-wide scale. So what type of institutional pastoral care would we provide? Pastoral support at an institutional level is open to all students and includes a range of resources that can be accessed by students to meet a range of needs that they may experience in addition to or along with their academic needs, and to provide services that recognise the intersectionality of our student body is an intrinsic within the higher education platform. Student support comes from a range of expert teams such as academic support, financial advisors, faith and spiritual advisors and student-led faith groups, physical well-being and personal safety teams, disability support, and access to mental health and well-being support services. However, none of these services have any real utility unless a student identifies or even understands that they have a need for and are motivated to seek the support that is on offer. This means that many students who are at greatest risk or who would really benefit from engaging with support may miss out on opportunities to do so, and in turn their experiences are less positive and they may even exit their university studies. This is where the importance of individual pastoral care plays such a substantial role. So the second pathway to identify is personal pastoral care, which is the range of services provided for students' emotional and psychological well-being, which is typically undertaken as part of the role of personal tutor in facilitating inclusivity and embracing diversity on an individual level. Personal tuition is fundamental to students' well-being and plays an intrinsic role in the student experience of university, as academic advisor, as a source of personal support, and as a source of graduate support. So here's a diagram illustrating how pastoral care in terms of personal tuition works at my own and many other universities in the UK. Personal tutors are members of academic teaching staff who are trained to understand, advise and signpost students allocated to them. At my institution, our personal tutees remain with us across their whole university course. At other institutions, this may well differ. The roles of a personal tutor fall, as previously stated, into three broad areas. Academic advisor. So an academic support will be provided using regular tutor group workshops, discussing basic academic skills, such as helping them understand their assessment feedback, and any potential additional academic needs can be monitored via academic skills checking and discussed in one-to-one tutorials. The benefit of academic support at a personal level is that students are actually more open to accessing university-level academic support, and in working as part of a broader tutor group are able to identify that they're not alone in experiencing such difficulties. Another benefit of personal tutor academic monitoring is that it allows for the early recognition of difficulties and signposting to additional resources such as the educational developmental services. Another strand of personal tuition is providing current students and alumni with academic tutor and/or character references for either postgraduate studies, professional training, job applications and signposting to Graduate Plus. In developing a meaningful relationship with tutees, personal tutors can offer advice about the utility of voluntary positions or work experience linked to their understanding of students' aspirations and skills, as well as offering guidance in mapping out future career directions. The last strand of personal tuition is the strand that has two broad foci: an awareness of each tutee's needs, experiences, aspirations and well-being, and offering advice about range of personal issues and signposting to appropriate university and external resources as required. Much of the time, students just need someone who is supportive and who they can talk to about concerns or issues that they are experiencing. Here are just some of the functions of the personal tuition role. As just inferred, personal tutors should be aware of students' experiences, their background, their culture, family dynamics, personal relationships, as well as any responsibilities such as caregiving that they may have, their current employment status and aspirations for future careers, and importantly, any financial issues that they may be experiencing. All of these issues are important drivers in students' level of engagement, their motivation to engage in the first place and to continue engaging, and importantly, they are barriers or could be barriers to achieving their ultimate goals. Personal tutors also need to be a source of advice to students throughout their studies and base their advice on the awareness of those individual students' histories and recognise when their level of skill cannot meet the need of the student themselves, so when to signpost to appropriate support services. As personal tutors are trained in all areas of institutional and individual pastoral care, much of the advice needed is actually within the skills base of the personal tutor, although signposting should always be considered. Currently, a major role of the personal tutor is actually supporting the mental health and well-being and offering mental health advice to students. All personal tutors at my institution are offered the opportunity to be trained as mental health first aiders, which provides them with a specific set of skills in recognising indices of mental health decline, providing immediate support and reporting any safeguarding issues for follow-up by our mental health team, or referring and signposting to external organisations as support. Some of our tutors are additionally qualified suicide first aiders and trained staff in suicide awareness. The aim of all this additional training is to provide a wholly safe environment for our students as we can and to effectively monitor their well-being. So what is pastoral care? As you'll probably hopefully now recognise, pastoral care or pastoral support involves a variety of resources for students and for staff to engage with the organisational structure of higher education. However, there are challenges to this pastoral care. For example, not all staff want to feel comfortable delivering pastoral support to tutees and prefer to focus on more of the academic and employability elements of the role. However, this may mean that their students feel unsupported and mental health issues may be overlooked until a point of crisis is experienced and safeguarding becomes necessary. As a resolution, we have senior CEDA certified advanced personal tutors who are an additional layer of support for students and staff to ensure that mental health and well-being is carefully monitored and that advice and signposting is provided. Students can self-refer or they can be referred by their personal tutor or another staff member. Another challenge is that some students do not engage with any of the resources provided, either at institutional or personal levels. So how can we possibly support their mental health, personal well-being and ensure a positive student experience? We provide this at two particular levels. So at a university level, we provide regular updates identifying support resources via social media, email, signage around campus, conferences and in-class talks. And at a personal level, our personal tutors monitor engagement and grades. They conduct regular wellbeing safeguarding checks with tutees. And if all attempts to reach out to student fails, but they are still attending classes, referral to the advanced personal tutor occurs, and they then take over the role of that personal tuition for that student. So for each of the two challenges noted, there is a solution, but with a cautionary note that some students just do not want to engage with any level of pastoral support, and they do have the right to do this. However, in my experience, 95% of students and staff do want and benefit from the pastoral care that is provided, particularly in terms of the personal relationship level, as having a meaningful relationship with a personal tutor who is well trained, independent, non-judgmental source of support encourages students to disclose issues that are impacting their mental health and or personal well-being. And working with their personal tutor and any other external support services, students can develop strategies to help navigate the issues barring engagement and ultimately achievement, strategies that can facilitate success whilst in higher education and beyond. I hope that this whirlwind guide to pastoral care has been useful, and thank you very much for listening.